I've already broken the serenity for some of my neighbors. I asked the nearest bunch if everybody was awake that should be awake, because if they ain't awake, they're going to be awake. They said they was all good. So I warmed up Slimbo, and then up the trail strolls another fella and saying, are you leaving? Because that's a bit loud this morning. Oh, it's beautiful here. Now I've got the challenge of trying to get out. Quietly. Quietly, Slimbo. Let's go. Easy on. I have an 800-pound dirt bike. How are you this fine morning?
I'm good, how are you?
Quite well, thank you.
A little drippy overnight, but not too bad.
Yeah. I came in a little late and I hurried up and set up camp. Didn't quite get it where I wanted.
That's just part of it.
So I got a little wet last night.
Yeah. Yeah, we had pizza in Deadwood. We had our salon back over here. But we got a little damp on the way home, but it wasn't bad.
We ain't sugar, we won't melt.
No, no. What you got here?
Oh, that's a case I made.
That's very nice.
It just drops on.
Nice, nice.
I'm kind of a
made yourself a copper.
Do it yourself.
I see that. Nice job. Yeah.
Well, you guys got a pretty sophisticated camp set up here.
Yeah. She likes to sleep in a bed.
So Sugar gets the royal treatment.
That's right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know the reason they call the Black Hills the Black Hills?
Why is that?
From the eastern plains coming this way.
Yeah.
They're black.
Yes, they are.
They appear to be.
We saw that.
And if you'll notice, there's cloud cover.
Yeah.
There's always clouds.
Huh.
Generally speaking.
Right.
So they shade the hills.
Right.
Makes them even look more
darker.
Black.
Yeah.
You can imagine what the early settlers must have thought when they came across.
I know, we thought about that. We came across
you can
on
see
14,
them for 50 miles.
A
And that's
long ways. We came up over a ridge. We followed 14 quite a ways, and then we took 34 over. We like taking them 2 lanes. And we came up over this ridge, and I says, look, there's the Black Hills. Just all of a sudden, there it was. It was beautiful.
And then you can imagine, after wandering that sea of grass for months.
And over the top of those hills and across the creeks and rivers. And,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden seeing this dark shadow out in front of you.
And what is that?
And then the millions and millions of buffalo that roamed out there. I just, you know, we talk about that every time we come across the plains. It is incredibly green here this year.
Yeah.
Incredible. We've been here already when you know how a forest smells when it gets real dry? It just smells like it's about ready to burst into flames.
Yeah.
Not this year. It is so green this year. So green.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you. Get on down the road.
Yeah.
You never know. We might meet again someday.
Yeah, this is a small world out there.
It is. This is a little treasure here, isn't it? Though,
Yes.
This little campground.
You know,
Beautiful
I was in town last night in Deadwood,
Yeah.
and I stopped in for a little refreshment, a break, and I was visiting with the owner of the establishment there, and I said, "Where do you camp?" And he goes, "You don't want a campground here, I'll show you." And he dropped
Good.
me a pin to this place.
Good. It's a beautiful little place.
Beautiful. Take care. Right or left? I'm not the most presentable, but let's go in and see how these people feel about vagabonds. I rolled on into Belle Fourche. Stopped in, well, between Spearfish and Belle Fourche. Found a nice little group of folks to go to church with. Enjoyed some fellowship. And now we're going to transition again. We came from the rolling grasslands of South Dakota into the Black Hills. Saw that magical transformation, and this country changes pretty quickly from place to place. I hope to show you what I mean. Well, I'm dried out now and rested. I've spent a little over an hour here at the city park. Beautiful Belle Fourche, South Dakota. We used to come down here on a regular basis. I'm almost home. Broadus, Montana is 100 miles that way. We're going to start seeing some new country.
Hungry for the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my freedoms down Liberty Avenue. And every time I hear a phrase my mother used to say to me, everything happens for a reason, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Nothing like kitchen conversation, steam coming up off the stove, photographs down the staircase showing our stories unfold. And every time I hear a song my father used to sing to me, sweet words of an Irish lullaby, I get the feeling I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Home, 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 just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, 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 no matter where I go.
Listen for a minute. There he is. I found myself a little roadside table, and the meadowlarks are showing out.
Just buy my ticket, I pick up the phone. I'm calling to tell you that I'm coming home. Home, 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 I'm coming home. I need a little taste of home, 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 I'm coming home. A little taste of home, 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 I need a little taste of home. Little taste.
Downtown Broadus, Montana. I have really enjoyed spending time here. Happened to be the 4th of July. I didn't plan it, but the town was full of folks, and I even got to ride in the parade. How about that? This is familiar to me. We ain't done yet. I'm still a parade. Howdy. Greetings, folks. Hello, hello. Glad y'all got to see me. Hello. 45 years ago, I was a teenager, and we lived on a ranch outside of town. Not much has changed. I was recognized by some old friends, got to see some family, and now I'm going to take another little trip up memory lane. Let's take a little drive. This is the Moorhead Road. What you see on the horizon there is Wolf Mountain. I jumped the biggest deer I've ever seen off the top of that mountain. That's not gonna work. This old gravel road is washboardy. Man, these handlebars are shaking so much I can't hold on to them. 40 miles up this road is a little place called Moorhead. It's a place, it used to be a town. Well, I'll take that back. It was never really a town. It was going to be a town. In fact, there are basements dug. There are curbs laid out. There are sidewalks poured. All the concrete work done on foundations for a complete housing development. Because the alphabet agencies were at one time going to dam up the Powder River. It was a terrible idea. I'm glad they didn't do it. But it leaves an interesting historical artifact there. I'm not going there. Not this time. Maybe another time. Also up in there was a little one-room country schoolhouse. And that is where my brother and my sister and I walked or rode horses. Or if the weather was bad, my brother, since he was in the 4th grade, he could drive. He would drive the Falcon, and we'd go to school. There was a little teacherage, I suppose, consisted of a teardrop trailer off to the side there, And that's where the teacher lived. Went there 4 years, had 4 different teachers, no surprise there. Usually summer students, or first-time teachers, or something like that. Somebody wanting a little adventure to go teach school in this remote schoolhouse in the middle of Montana. And they had no concept or understanding of the severity of the winters, of the remoteness of the situation. But for us, it was everyday life. And now looking back, I count myself privileged to have experienced it. 40 miles yonder. What a deal. Well, Broadus was wonderful. It was great to catch up with a few old friends, see a place that brings back so many memories. I'd like to spend some more time here, but that road out there is calling my name.